I thought there was a chance here to play a little more with Johnny Blaze. It's been 8 years since his head has ignited into flames and he's become cursed with the spirit of vengeance. And I thought it would be fun to explore what effects that has had on his state of mind. He's a lot more sarcastic, he's a lot darker, he's a lot edgier, his sense of humor is not unlike a cop or a paramedic who confronts horrific things every day and has to find a way of coping with it. And he's hiding out in Europe because, he just is trying to get as far away from home as he can. Also, this movie gave me a chance to play Ghost Rider for the first time. And the other movie was a stuntman. And so a lot of the thought, a lot of the imagination wasn't utilized to bring this character to life. It's so exciting to be able to present a character from another dimension, a character that's totally outside of our reference point, because it gives me a chance as an actor to play in the abstract, and it opens me up to quite a bit of freedom to move differently and to project this sort of aura of horror and hopefully humor at the same time. It was really about, in the very old days, I think all actors on some level hail from medicine men or shamans in the ancient world. The town shaman was the person that would go into worlds of imagination to find some sort of answer or a cure or express something about whatever the village was going through. And you fast forward to 2012, I mean, it's still what we do. And for Ghost Rider, it gave me a chance to kind of approach it like that. And I would sew little things into my costume, ancient artifacts, maybe from Egypt, or bits of rock that might have allegedly some sort of energy to them. Who knows if they do or they don't? But the point is, if you can believe it, you can imagine it, it will help find the part. And I would paint my face like a shaman would. In the old days, they would use masks and things like that, or even Greek theater. So I thought, okay, for me to be able to walk on the set and believe I'm Ghost Rider and not feel completely ridiculous, I'm going to need to transform. And so I would paint my face with white and black makeup so it looked almost like an Afro-Caribbean Baron Samedi skull, or like a New Orleanian voodoo icon. Baron Saturday is a famous skull in a tuxedo, loves children, but he's also the spirit of death, and he's also the spirit of fucking. So it's a wonderful character, and so I wanted to embrace that. And then I would put black contacts in my eyes, and I wouldn't say a word to anybody. So as soon as I walked on the set, there was this quiet, and people were somewhat afraid to talk to me, and I wouldn't answer them anyway if they had. So it immediately created an aura of fear for the other actors, which fueled me. And it also hopefully helped me believe I was the character for you as the audience. And these were little tricks I could do to kind of create this entity. The Ghost Rider is important to me because as a child I read Ghost Rider, and I was immediately fascinated by his complexity. I could not understand how something so scary that was using the forces of evil could still be working for good. It's like the first philosophical experience I had as a child. He's the only superhero that was inspired by Goethe. He's made a Faustian deal with the devil. I mean, this is pretty complicated stuff for a comic book character, especially when you're 8 years old. But I think it had a huge influence on me. Every movie I've done on some level is about a mistake and a flaw in a character and an obstacle that needs to be overcome or succumbed to. And if you're going to make movies that explore comic books, you're going to have to provide an alternative. There's so many of them now. Ghost Rider is adjacent to all the other comic book characters. He's not like any of them. He's his own thing. What's really about Johnny Blaze on the lam in Romania has been living with the curse for 8 years. He's visited by an alcoholic monk played by Idris Elba who wants to recruit the Ghost Rider to find this child who is possessed, who is the son, literally, of the devil, and to bring him to a group of monks. And on the way, at first, Johnny is reticent to meet Danny, Fergus Riordan's character, but then he starts to develop a relationship with him because the two of them understand each other. That's the emotion of the movie. In the middle of all the comedy and all the effects and all the psychedelic madness, there's still some heart, and that's what it's about. I think he really starts to care about him. Because like any father and son, when you stay a true father, you stay a true son when you have similarities that you can discuss and cope and guide through. And that's what's happening here with Johnny and Danny. No, I made a movie called Drive Angry about another character named Milton who broke out of hell. So totally different because when I did Drive Angry, it was in camera 3D. The 3D cameras were on the set. This one, it was a conversion. They still had to put some thought into where to put the camera so you don't blow the 3D effect, but it was a different experience. Possibly. Your guess is as good as mine. My hope would be that if they did another, that he would actually go into hell. And it would be like a Dante's Inferno Ghost Rider version.